Hi friends! Today we're going to be talking about how to thread a sewing machine. Today we're working with the Brother SE-400. It's the embroidery sewing machine. And we are going to do a quick tutorial on how to thread it, assuming that you already have your needle in and have everything else set up. We are just going to look at threading it and putting the bobbin in. So if you're working with a small spool of thread, you're going to put it right on here, and you're going to put your extra piece, if you have one, to hold your thread on there. If you're working like me with a big spool of thread, you're going to place it on your thread guide and put your thread up through here so that it does not get tangled. And you should have steps on your machine. So number one is to take your thread and go under part. That will look something like this, and you should be able to just pull it and it'll go right in there. You do not have to thread it through. Just put a little tension on it and it will snap right in. Step number two, we are going to go around this piece right here, just like that. And we're going to bring it all the way down to 3 right here, which just means wrap it around. And we're going to go back up, and you're going to see number 4, which is going around this little silver piece right in here. You can kind of see it better from this angle right there. If you cannot see that piece, go over here to your hand crank and turn it either towards you or away from you, and you can see that it moves. If you push it away, it usually brings your needle down, which moves that metal piece down. So you want to bring it up as high as it will go and wrap your thread around there and come back down for step number 5, which is right here. And then it's kind of hard to see, but number 6 is right down here on this piece, and it's wanting you to wrap it around this little metal. And to do that, I like to bring with my right hand thread over here and just kind of put it through there like you're gonna floss it, and you'll hear it kind of click into place. And that's number 6. And so then your last step is to thread it through the needle, or for this machine, if it still works on your machine, if you have a used one, it might not work as well. But number 7 is up over here. You're going to put it through this little gap, this little notch, and you're going to wrap it around the top of 7 right there. And then you're going to come over here, and you see that little notch that says 9 on it. You're going to push that down and it will thread it for you. And with this, you do want to make sure that your needle is at the highest, otherwise it won't push through. And as you can see on here, you have number 8 was to cut it. But what I have found is if I pull it through 7, then go to cut it and then thread it, sometimes it cuts my thread too short. When I go to start my machine, it comes unthreaded. So I just like to leave a long little tail just to have, that way it doesn't come unthreaded and I don't have to do it all over again. The other thing we are going to do is putting our bobbin in. You can see this little diagram that says you want your thread to come out to the left side. So you're gonna pop open your bobbin by pushing this piece in, and this will pop out. And then you take your bobbin, and again, we want our thread going to the left. Make sure you have the right kind of bobbin. Check with your manual to make sure you have the right one, but you can see if it is too small and it has a lot of movement, you probably have the wrong size. So it shouldn't have a lot of movement, it should sit in there flat. And then you're going to take it to the left, come up, you see this little arrow, come up, around, make sure it's in there, and then this is going to cut it for you. And you just pull and it'll cut your thread. And just put your casing back on there, your cover for your casing, and you're good to go. I also like to go ahead and put my thread through the guide, depending on what foot you have. And don't worry if this piece comes up, it's fine. And if you want to as well, you can move your needle down and it'll pull your bobbin up to make sure that your bobbin is threaded correctly. Slowly pull your tail and you'll see that your bobbin thread came up too. And you can pull that out a little bit too, especially if you're going to do a gathering stitch and you need long tails. Make sure you pull your bobbin up there too. That way you have 2 long tails to help you gather your piece. That is the video on threading. Let me know if there's any other tutorials you'd like to see, and make sure to check out my other video on how to clean your machine.